Let's talk about the Grammys. I feel like over the past 5 years, the only thing the Grammys have been in the news or conversation about is how bad they have been and how progressively worse they keep getting. There is a lot of music lovers that just simply do not care about the Grammys anymore. Because when I was a kid, I feel like our family always stayed up and watched the Grammys and watched the Oscars. They were really pivotal moments that people stayed up for Sunday night and made appetizers for and had little parties for. And now they're just
Whatever.
and there's a multiple reasons why that people don't care about the Grammys. People think it's rigged. There's hundreds of thousands of more artists that people listen to now, so that those people don't get representation. So a lot of people don't care about the Grammys because it's the same 15 artists. There's thoughts that artists pay for them, and it's just really who can shovel out the biggest check to get all of the awards. And also the subtle dash of
Racism.
that we all feel like is involved in these Grammys. A la Beck over Beyonce, Macklemore over Kendrick Lamar. So yeah, all this leads to a drop in viewership and the Grammys becoming less and less significant to a lot of different genres, especially in the hip hop and rap world, the electronic world. It's usually just a pop and country driven award ceremony. However, I sat through 4.5 hours of these Grammys, and I thought this was one of the better Grammys in the last couple years. Definitely much better than last year's Grammy. So let's get into why these Grammys were better and what the Grammys could even do more to improve the Grammys to where all but most are trying to tune in into the Grammys. Also, let me know in the comments if you loved, if you hated the Grammys, if you thought there was any nomination snubs, if you thought there was any winner snubs. Let me know in the comments. I do music and fashion. Also, my name is Slicky Campbell. I do music and fashion. And if you like any of the topics that I've talked about previously, please give me a subscribe, like the video, push it through the algorithm, and let's get this ball rolling. So being a music and fashion content creator, I usually tune into the pre-show. The pre-show is actually pretty fun. One thing I wish they would do for people that are trying to know what people are wearing is do a little blurb at the bottom, oh, this person is showing up in blah, blah, blah. I know that is kind of hard because there's so many last second changes, but maybe get a fashion content creator, a big one that can identify big pieces and you can just blurb it at the bottom. I think it'd be really helpful and would help a lot of people get more into high fashion. But yeah, there's really nothing more besides that in the pre-show. Sometimes there's some extracurricular stuff. One of the biggest thing was the Bianca Censori, Kanye West pulling up to the red carpet. And that was shocking because Bianca was pretty much... But besides that, nothing really crazy. There always are some good outfits. Some of my favorite outfits were Chapel Roan, Cardi B looked really good, Charlie XCX looked great, and then you have this diva. Obviously, she looks amazing. Yeah, the pre-show did what it did, and I don't think you really need to change much more of it. But now let's get to the main show. I will say Trevor Noah is borderline more unfunny than SNL. None of his jokes really got to me. I wasn't really laughing at any of the cuts of his little stand-up. Just nothing at all. They need to get someone that's a little bit younger if they want to drive more of the 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds to watch the Grammys. Yeah, they need some kind of new fresh air when it comes to someone hosting the Grammys. I was thinking a music content creator, but that could be a little bit awkward. They just need someone just more that can just host better at the end of the day. And there were some funny moments. As you've seen in the thumbnail, the Beyonce moment was really funny when she was shocked she won Country Album of the Year, and then Taylor Swift dancing to Kendrick Lamar. That's always funny.
Us. They not like us. They not like us.
There were some memeable moments. One thing we have to talk about is the length of the show. Almost 5 hours is actually insane. I was tired of it by the end of it. I did not want to be up that long, especially on a Sunday when a lot of people have to go to work. 5 hours is too much. It really needs to be 3.5 at most. There's weird transitions into the performances of the new artists and other artists. They could have shortened those a lot. I guess a lot of it too was all the LA fire awareness and donating to that. That took up a lot of time. So I understand for that. And the tribute performances were a little long and unfortunately they're just a little boring. I feel like we see Stevie Wonder perform every year and I'm okay, that's cool, that's fun, but it just drags. It drags and drags. Yeah, if they could somehow get it to 3.5 hours, that would be great. That would be great. And maybe if you're not going to shorten the time, maybe add more presentations. I know they keep scaling it back. I know at this point it's like there was 9 presentations in the main show, and like
Maybe doing more of those speeds it up a little bit.
but besides that, I didn't have any major problems with the show. I knew it was going to be long. I did not think it was going to be almost 5 hours though. Now let's get into the performances. Like I said, you had the tribute performance, which honestly I feel like it's horrible to say the tribute performances
Suck.
but they just dragged on for so long. I like how they did the new artists where they kind of really just consecutively did each performance. It was like Chaperone, Lainey Wilson, Shabuzi, Teddy, like so on and so on. It was really fast and quick. I do feel like the bigger artists though, like the Sabrina Carpenter performance, the Charlie XCX performance, those could have been a bit longer to add some theatrics, but when you can barely fit it all in a 5-hour time frame, it gets to a point. I thought the Playboy Cardi cameo for the weekend was really cool. It's really cool to see hip hop and rap representation because I feel like the Grammys, hip hop artists and rap artists are always on the outside looking in. So bringing artists like that is really cool and really fun. But let's get into the winners now. One thing I've seen, especially on Twitter, is how people don't appreciate the best rap album for Doechii. And I'm looking at the nominations. I'm like, it's either Common or like Killer Mike. Like, I don't even know if Killer Mike was even on the nominations, but like Doechii was really one of the only ones that was stood out to me. I mean, J. Cole was on there, I think. J. Cole's album didn't make any noise really. So I thought Doechii was the rightful winner and she was going to win by a landslide. Just the commercial success, her rise, it just all set up for a good narrative. Beyonce winning country album, like I said before, that was really great. I feel like if anyone listened to a country album this year, it was Beyonce, and just crossing over from pop to country is just great. So now we get into best album. It was very pop dominated. Beyonce winning makes sense once you realize how they vote. Like they kept saying during the whole performance, there's 13,000 Academy members. And there's members for each genre. So you have like a folk genre, you have a electronic genre, you have a pop genre, you have a rap and hip hop and country. So like Afro Latino, you have all the
binary people of all gender appropriations and the pronouns. Everyone is included.
These different members in all these sections, and they vote for the best album, like the first place album, second place album, kind of like MVP voting in NBA or NFL. Beyonce's country album winning best album makes sense if you think about it that way, because the pop like section of voters, they're gonna be split up between nominations like Chaperone, Charlie XCX, Sabrina Carpenter, all these ones that are nominated, Billie Eilish, and then you have all the country people voting for Beyonce because she's the country artist, and then you have some people in the pop voting for Beyonce as well. You have other people that might be voting for Beyonce because she's just well known. So this is like the perfect storm if you know how the voting is set up for Beyonce to win. And a video that broke this down really well was the Swiftologist's video. I'll put it in the description below. He does a great job of breaking down how the Grammys are set up so you can kind of understand why certain people win. And one gripe I did have was Kendrick sweeping for the Not Like Us record. It's a good song, don't get me wrong, but a diss song being a sweepable rap category song, it doesn't sit well with me. I think Glorilla would have been a really good narrative. If you gave Glorilla one of the nominations, that would have been great to put her on. But if that's how the faction of the rap and hip hop Academy felt, then best new artist was Chaperone, which really makes sense. Even if you're not a pop fan, I feel like you kind of knew who Chaperone was, either through TikTok or just other people talking about her. She blew up and is now like a major artist. Pop record being Espresso, that also makes sense. That song dominated the summer, unless if you weren't talking about Brat music wise, you were talking about Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. So that's kind of what happened. And I thought the winners and all that were really good. Like I said, Kendrick sweeping kind of but mostly everybody else, it kind of made sense and I was pretty satisfied. I know a lot of people wanted Billie Eilish to win record of the year. And if you look at it at all the pop votes being split up between Sabrina, Chapel, Charlie, Billie, and then some people are going to vote for Taylor and Beyonce as well. Beyonce gets all the country votes, she wins. There it is. And I just think Beyonce's record may have had more of a cultural impact for a black woman going into the country realm and really shining. Billie Eilish will have so many more chances to win Record of the Year because she's already even won one too. So she will have thousands of more chances to win Record of the Year. So let's get in how we can still kind of tweak and improve the Grammys. I think one thing that the Grammys are missing out on to get the younger generation is embracing the stan culture. It's not going anywhere. With social media, you're always going to have these stan accounts, and they want to feel like their artist is the best through Grammys. A lot of people go after Nicki Minaj fans because she hasn't won a Grammy. So maybe you do like a fan vote, or you do like a vote that partially counts towards it for like a best new artist for that genre. So like a pop best new artist or a hip hop best new artist. And it brings more people to the Grammys that people want to see. Because like I said before, there's so many people listening to so many different artists that people don't really care because the artist only has 500,000 monthly listeners, 20,000 listeners. There's a lot of different artists. And also labels would love that because it gets their new artist out to the Grammys. But yeah, if they did some kind of fan vote, that would be really cool. Or like some partial fan vote. Like they show who, and it like counts for 25% of the votes or something. I don't know. Obviously, you don't want to do a major, just like an all-in-one fan vote, but maybe you do. But they need to embrace stan culture. And one side note, new artists need to be new artists. And what I mean by that, there were some artists in this category. There was one band that started with a K or something. They've been artists for like 10 to 12 years. At that point, you're not a new artist anymore. I guess they were a new artist to me, I guess. But
9 to 10 years.
You need to pick people that have really only been putting out like label projects for 2 to 3 years. Maybe another fan vote could be like best fan base or something like that. And then the artist gets it. And then like they can go on Twitter and talk about how their artist is the best artist or whatever. We have the best fan base. Best tour. I don't think I saw that in the Grammy list, but I think best tour would be really cool because it would allow people again to vote on that. And I went to this one and this one won the best award. Just embracing that stan culture to get younger people eyes on. I think inviting music content creators to Grammys would be really cool. Maybe that decreases the allure of it, but like having an Anthony Fantano there, or having like a Sean C there, or people that are really like invested into listening to this artist and been covering these artists the whole year, having those people there and just talking to them and stuff would be really cool and would bring eyes from the younger generation. Maybe even more visibility of the Academy, like, oh, this is the person that directs it and this is who's giving out the best artists, instead of the LA Fire Department, because of what happened, makes sense. But yeah, just like maybe the head person and like their thought process, just not being so in the dark about what actually happens, because I had to go and look up from videos to see how they actually vote. Yeah, and they just need to bring back meaning to these awards, like with more of the Academy coming out and being more in the light about their process and things like that will really help the Grammys, like be like, okay, this is how they do it, so it makes sense that Billie lost and Beyonce won or something like that. Because when you're so in the dark, you have these rumors like, oh, Jay-Z paid for Beyonce's Grammy because he called them out, or they just gave them to Beyonce because Jay-Z called the Grammys out last year. Yeah, like, or like the head of the hip hop person comes out and says this, and we thank these artists, and these artists have best years. So it just gives people, more visuals on who's running the show. Because it looks like the fucking Illuminati when you are going in there and the 13,000 people, okay, are these like an underground
Society of who
makes the decision? Like, we just need more visibility on the actual people vote. But I don't know, that might not be great because it might all just literally be like white men and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, we maybe have seen this before. Maybe we know who Playboy Cardi is. I don't know. But again, let me know what you all think. If you got this far, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, just to push us through the algorithm. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers, and when I get there and I get paid per view, we can make this so much more production-wise. We have so many ideas, and see you all later.